Well, it's officially been a month since the Switch 2 launched, and that begs the question, is it worth it? Is it overpriced? Let's find out. The Switch 2 quickly became one of the fastest selling consoles of all time, if not the fastest selling console of all time, launching 3.5 million units in like 3 or 4 days, something insane. Some huge numbers, and that number has only gone up since then. Nintendo's done an extremely well job of keeping these things in stock and available. Seems like if you want to Switch to, it might take a little while or a couple tries, and you got to be a little persistent maybe, but if you want one of these damn things, you can apparently get your hands on them, which is good. The scarcity of consoles was something that was felt with the PS5 and the latest Xbox. And it seems like Nintendo really did their homework and wanted to make sure that that was not going to happen in this case. As well as, the price being a big contingency for a lot of people. Doesn't seem like that deterred a lot of folks. Or unless you're like me and you were afraid tariffs were going to cause this thing to be insanely expensive down the line, you jumped in and got it now. I myself got the Mario Kart bundle, as I would assume most people did. If you didn't get the Mario Kart bundle, like, what are you doing? Mario Kart is the game to play on the Switch 2. So like you're just wasting money if you don't. If you can't find one, that's one thing, but that's neither here nor there. I have about 35 hours in Mario Kart World. I've done just about everything that you can do. I have not unlocked mirror mode yet, but that's neither here nor there. I've had my hands on this console long enough to have some concrete opinions on it now, after a month and after playing it pretty consistently over this past month. And that's that. It's a Switch, but better. And that's all it needed to be. The Switch 2 is not reinventing the wheel by any stretch of the imagination. This thing is exactly what you expect it to be, and that's all it needed to be. Because if Nintendo was to deviate too much away from the hybrid console format, I don't think that we would see, hopefully, the trajectory that this console is going to have be like the Switch. They've really like honed in, and I don't want to say perfected, because there is a lot of things that can be updated and better about the Switch as a console. But for all intents and purposes, they have nailed this type of console. They have pioneered the hybrid console format. They have pioneered handheld gaming forever. But you see now with like the Steam Decks of the world, the ROG Allies, all these handhelds that are coming out now, trying to replicate the success of the Nintendo Switch. And the Switch 2, honestly, going to be a contender in that market. Absolutely incredible that it can do 4K 60. And let me tell you, I've been playing some Breath of the Wild and some Tears of the Kingdom, and I've, through some not so wholesome methods, I've played 4K 60 FPS Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild before. So while it's not an extremely new experience for me, seeing people really understand how these games look and perform in that capacity, I'm just glad that everyone can appreciate that now. And also, having it run stable with no frame drops natively on the console is a huge plus, because even through less than wholesome ways, I would still get some stuttering and some egregious frame drops even with a 4070 graphics card. So it's not perfect on alternative methods, but having it on the Switch or having 4K 60 on this device was literally the only thing I needed, because I love the Switch as a console. My OLED is sitting right here with the, my original Joy-Cons. All I needed was this to be this, but run 4K 60, and I was going to be happy. And that's what this is. There's certain games that offer 1080p, 120 hertz, or 120 FPS, and I haven't messed around with any games that do that yet. I think Metro Prime's probably going to be the biggest one that's going to really utilize that as a feature. For me, 4K 60 is plenty. You know, if I'm doing anything that's going to require above 60 FPS, I'm probably playing it on my PC anyways. It's incredible to see a Nintendo console finally be on par with what the industry standard is nowadays. For all intents and purposes, this thing has checked every box that I wanted it to do. I guess the biggest downside would be I do have a little bit of Joy-Con drift in these, which is unfortunate because that was probably the biggest issue the Switch 1 had. So for these to continue to also have Joy-Con drift is really disappointing, and probably the biggest negative I have to say about the Switch 2. Outside of that, a lot of people were, you know, kind of, you know, iffy on whether or not the screen would be good. I've been playing primarily docked. But for me, I mean, the screen looks fine. It's huge. It's a lot bigger, noticeably bigger. The screen looks fine to me. It looks great. I mean, I know it's not an OLED, but, you know, I understand that that would probably also make this extremely more expensive for it to have an OLED. But, you know, give it 2 years and we're going to have the OLED model. Additionally, battery life seems to be pretty low, which kind of mirrors the Switch, you know, the original Switch, like the first iteration of the Nintendo Switch, with those egregious battery lives. So, you know, that's also a bummer. But, you know, this thing is doing a lot more than, you know, what the Switch 1 was. So, you know, it makes sense that it's draining the battery a bit more. I primarily play docked. I don't play handheld as frequently. Here and there I will. So, you know, it is a little disappointing, but not a deal breaker in any sense of the word for me, myself. I'm so happy that there's just a lot of innate, like, quality of life things that this has done, like the eShop running extremely better for one. The eShop was egregious. It was so laggy and so slow, and eShop on Switch 2 is so seamless, works incredibly well, and yeah, it's just so nice. The magnetic Joy-Cons are super satisfying. I love just the click is so nice. I absolutely adore, you know, the feeling of taking these off. I've been using the Joy-Cons a lot, and they, you know, they're bigger. They are more comfortable than standard Joy-Cons on the Switch 1, but they're still Joy-Cons. They're still not the best or, like, preferred way to play them. I have been using predominantly my Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller because I ain't throwing around $95 for a new Pro controller when this one still works perfectly fine. I understand that the Switch 2 Pro controller seems to be very nice and has a really nice feel to it, but this thing is still perfectly fine, and it connects via Bluetooth, and I've had no issues using this whatsoever on the Switch 2, and nor do I think I ever will. So until I need to upgrade to a Switch 2 Pro controller or just have the desire to have a spare one, I'm not going to bother because it's not necessary at this point. Yeah, overall, I mean, the Switch 2 is, like I said, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just bringing Nintendo to the forefront where they need to be. And that's all it needed to be. You know, right now, you know, they're marketing this thing as like the biggest launch lineup of games for any Nintendo console ever because there's so many Switch 2 versions of Nintendo Switch games, you know, be it the Zeldas of the world and, you know, the Pokemons and everything else that's just available out there, Kirby, you know, all of these Switch 2 upgrades that are adding things to the games, or, you know, making them their best overall version. I have not really messed around with too many of them outside of Zelda. I've messed around with Zelda Notes a little bit. I have, you know, some thoughts on Zelda Notes individually. Not really something I want to go deep into here because I'll ramble about it way too much. I will say with Mario Kart, though, I do quite enjoy Mario Kart World. It's a very fun game. Knockout Tour is so much fun. I absolutely adore that for online play. I've predominantly just been playing with my wife, though, doing Grand Prix. So I know a lot of people are kind of upset with like some of the recent updates that they've done with online multiplayer, with like, you know, the transition tracks becoming a lot more frequent now. And like, I understand the grievances around that. It's just not something that's affecting me in what I play for Mario Kart World all that much. Free roam, I don't really mess around with because it's very empty. You know, one of the things that I wish they would have done is, you know, there's a ton of different skins and costumes and outfits in this game, and you unlock them primarily just through racing. I would have loved to seen some of these, you know, P-block, you know, platforming puzzle things that you do in the open world free roam mode grant you those skins, and that be a carrot on the stick to make the free roam worth doing something. Because for me, it's literally just, it's not worth messing around with, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's very boring to me. Unless you're just running around just trying to practice shortcuts and stuff like that, then, you know, that is what it is. That being said, you know, there's a whole, you know, separate topic here, but I don't think it's an $80 game. Just throwing that out there. It's a very fun game. It's a very good Mario Kart. I've had a ton of fun playing it. I've played more of this Mario Kart than any Mario Kart in God, a long time. Not that I didn't play a decent bit of Mario Kart 8, but it was more of just a party game when friends were over and stuff like that. I wasn't actively just playing Mario Kart because I was like really into it. It's been a long time since I've done that. Probably Mario Kart Wii, if I had to guess. As much fun as I've had with this game, I think it's... I would not have paid $80 for this. I mean, I would have, because it's the only game on the Switch 2. I wouldn't have been happy about it. That being said, I'm really glad that I got it in the bundle and got it for that reduced price, because, yeah, man, the prices of these games are going to be very questionable. But I think as it stands right now, 1 month in, you know, the console is doing what it needs to do. It is the upgrade that I wanted it to be. The real test is going to be when we get some games that are built for this game, or for this console specifically, and that are utilizing it to its fullest capability. And I think we're going to see that with Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is coming out in just over a week or so as of the time I'm recording this. So I think it's going to be the benchmark for the Switch 2. I really wish it was probably a launch game. I think it would have been a really well launch game for the Switch 2, but you know, we're getting it a month later, so it's still kind of a launch game. Until we get like a full catalog of brand new Nintendo games, right now it's just replaying old games, replaying stuff on the backlog. I've been playing a bunch of Okami lately. I've been trying to get through Okami for like 4 years at this point. Oh my god, I don't know why it's taking me so long. It's just not clicking for some reason, which is strange because it's basically just a Zelda game. Yeah, right now it's just backlogging it and playing some of those Switch 2 versions. So once we get some games that are for the Switch 2 and we get those brand new Nintendo IP games out there, right now it's serviceable, it's doing great. When those come out, I think we're going to see this thing shine, and I think we're going to really understand just how good of a console this is going to be. That's the thoughts for the Switch 2 1 month in. What do you guys think of the Switch 2 so far, if you've got one? If you don't got one, why are you waiting? Are you just waiting on games? Is it a price issue? Do you think it's overpriced still? Are you having a hard time finding one? For me, I know there's a lot of contention always with anything. For me, I'm loving the Switch 2. I'm glad I got one, and it's doing everything that I could have ever asked. But that's for me. You guys let me know what you think in the comments section down below. But that, of course, is going to take us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Thank you to channel members. Thank you guys. If you would like to become a channel member, there's a join button down here somewhere that gives you the exclusive emotes for the channel. It gives you an exclusive role in the Discord and your name shouted out in every edited video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. Do all the stuff that pushes the algorithm. And yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you in the next one.